Thank you, Joshua. Joining us now to discuss issues surrounding the protest is former Director, State Security Services, Dennis Amachree. Dennis, thank you for joining us. I want to start with your response to the demand for the dismissal of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, in response to the killing of protesters. I think I might just add to that your worries about the alleged continued detaining of protesters.
Thank you for having me. You see, we cannot make this an emotional thing. If the director, the Inspector General of Police, had sent out his people and somebody was killed, I think the decision to resign or not to resign depends on him, because you cannot say that he should resign and then he go ahead and resign. It's not done that way. You remember when the American president, former President Trump, was shot, because of the laxity of the Secret Service and because of the investigation that followed it. The head of the director of the Secret Service, Chitul, was, she resigned on her own. So if there is an investigation and they find out that the police was culpable, and then of course this is going to be congressional investigation. That's the House of Rep or Senate, and they discover that yes, some people were just killed without any kind of cause. Then it is left for the Inspector General to decide whether he wants to resign or not. And of course, his boss will even tell him to resign if they discover that he was culpable.
All right, let me rephrase that question again. That's one aspect of it. I want to pick your brain as someone who has experience. From your wealth of experience, what does experience tell you about the justification for the call for him to resign, based on what you've seen of the protests, the people that died, the handling by security agencies?
Well, I think one thing we have in Nigeria is that very rarely we see public officers resigning. From my experience, I have not seen a lot of them, even those who have been caught, either converting public funds to their own, will keep on trying to see if they can go ahead and circumvent the whole system. So I really have not seen. But you see, we have to follow process. And if we are following process and by either calling for this, people died, who are these people? Because right now it's in the realms of rumor. If people actually died, who are they? Who are they? And then, of course, let the Senate or the House of Rep come up with a panel or a committee to investigate. And then if they find out that this is true and these people were killed, not when they are looting, because I think that's another area you have to think about.
You're saying the killings might still be rumor at this stage. Does that mean you doubt the credibility of a body like Amnesty International that has accused the Nigerian security forces of killing at least 21 protesters during these protests? So I even put the figure higher.
Yeah, what I would want Amnesty International to do is to come up with a list of the people that were killed. Show us the list, show us the bodies, because it's all in the realms of rumor. In security, we don't deal with that. We deal with facts and evidence. So, Amnesty International, wherever they are, maybe in London, trying to stay there to tell Nigerians that 21 people are dead and stuff like that. We want to see the list. We want to see the bodies. And we want to see their families.
I do believe we have
And
Amnesty International here in Nigeria.
This was the same, Felicity,
Sir.
listen to this. This was the same controversy that we had when NSAS happened. Because when NSAS happened, they said some people were killed. Yes, definitely. We saw policemen, soldiers shooting. But what people should always think about is to keep evidence. If possible, video evidence. Use your telephones, take a picture of the wounded, of the dead, which will be used in panels that were set up later. But not to just say, oh, people have died and, 40 people died.
You do have valid points, but then again, one would argue that from day one of this protest, the media has been covering it. We've seen live footage of tear gas being put out on protesters. We've seen the army come out to acknowledge that a 16-year-old boy was mistakenly shot dead during the protest. So however you look at it, whether it is mistakenly or intentionally, the loss of one life is as important as there can be. So what would be your recommendation, aside from asking Amnesty International and other bodies to come up? We do have security agencies, and then we have these protesters that have come up to say, these are the people that have died. In that procession that we showed earlier, there were pictures of people who had died during this process. So I'd like your recommendation. If you were to be in the shoes of these protesters, what would you be asking? Would you be asking for the resignation of the IGP, or you'll be asking for something else?
Asking for the resignation of the IGP is too early to call. It's too early to call. What I will expect the protesters to do now is to get solid evidence. What are the names? Where is the body? Where is it right now? Where is the body of the person that died? Who are the family members and stuff like that? Even the press can help us investigate. It's not just saying it. Let the press go to the families of these people, talk to the mother of the child that died, so that we have all that together. And then when there is an investigation, you bring it out. And I think the IGP, if he is culpable, will be forced to resign. Why not?
All right, Dennis, thank you as always for obliging us with your time.
Thank you for having me.